In the wild world of the 2024 NBA playoffs, the Minnesota Timberwolves emerge as unlikely heroes, toppling giants and igniting the passion of fans everywhere. Meanwhile, the Magic and Cavaliers deliver a 7-game spectacle, proving that even underdogs can shine on the biggest stage. But amidst the triumphs, there are also heartaches, as injuries and fierce competition test the mettle of contenders like the Pacers and Bucks. And as the Boston Celtics steamroll through the competition, we're left wondering who will rise to the challenge and claim ultimate victory. So don't miss a minute of the action. Stay with us till the end and witness history in the making. Minnesota Timberwolves. Plow 260. The Minnesota Timberwolves pulled off an impressive feat by taking down the reigning champion Denver Nuggets, not just with a few blowout wins early in the series, but also with an amazing come-from-behind victory in Game 7 on the road. Their defense, anchored by Rudy Gobert, is solid, and on offense, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jaden McDaniels have become a fantastic trio. However, they might still struggle because none of those players match Luka Doncic's talent. In basketball, where superstars often make the difference, Doncic could be too much for the Wolves to handle if he catches fire. Surprising thrills in the Magic versus Cavaliers matchup. Before the playoffs began, most people probably had low expectations for the Magic versus Cavaliers series, and it's easy to see why. For casual basketball fans, a matchup between two defensive-minded teams with average or below-average offenses may not seem too exciting. While Donovan Mitchell shines as the star player in this matchup, he's not quite on the same level as some of the other postseason stars. However, this series turned out to be the only first-round matchup that went to 7 games. Even if you didn't find it thrilling, the performance of Paolo Banchero and the Magic in the first round showed that this young team is ready to compete in the playoffs for years to come. The fact that the Cavaliers initially took a 2-0 lead in the series, only for the Magic to bounce back and even it up, followed by a back-and-forth battle that forced a Game 7, provided all the drama and excitement you'd hope for in a playoff series. Disappointing sweep. There's not much excitement in a sweep, so it's no surprise this series is at the bottom of the list. It's a shame because it had the potential to be entertaining, but Zion Williamson being out with a hamstring injury really dampened the interest. Game 1's close 94-92 score made it seem like the series might be competitive, but the Thunder then dominated the next 3 games, winning by an average of 20.3 points and clearly showing they were the superior team. Indiana Pacers, 23,000. With just 4 teams left, the Pacers' chances of winning a championship seem pretty slim based on their odds. Despite leading the NBA in scoring during the regular season and continuing to shoot incredibly well in the playoffs, their defense has been a big issue, though it hasn't hurt them in the first 2 rounds. Many people attribute their Cinderella run to injuries affecting stars like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, and Jalen Brunson, but as the saying goes, it's better to be lucky than good. The Pacers might keep catching breaks too, with Boston's Kristaps Porzingis out for the start of the Eastern Conference Finals. Given their performance and circumstances, 31 odds seem pretty unfair. Injuries impact Bucks versus Pacers matchup. The Bucks versus Pacers matchup was heavily influenced by injuries, with Giannis Antetokounmpo missing games and Damian Lillard only playing in 4. Despite the talent disadvantage, Milwaukee put up a strong fight throughout the series. Game 5 was particularly thrilling, with the Bucks missing 2 stars, delivering an electrifying performance led by Chris Middleton and Bobby Portis, who played at an all-star level to secure a blowout win and extend the series. The opening game showcased Lillard's impact, as his 35 points helped lift the Bucks to victory, showcasing why they traded for him. However, Indiana's depth and standout performances from Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner proved too much for a shorthanded Milwaukee team in the end. Boston Celtics, 150. The Boston Celtics have shown all season that they're the team to beat in these playoffs. Even without their star player, Kristaps Porzingis, for a while, they've had no trouble dominating the first 2 rounds. Now they're up against the Indiana Pacers, who just put everything they had into beating the Knicks in a tough 7-game series. While it's never easy to root for the favorite, the Celtics seem to have the smoothest path to the finals, making them the clear choice for the championship. Suns versus Timberwolves. Another matchup that seemed like it could be exciting turned out to be a letdown. When a team invests heavily in their top 3 players but neglects to build a strong supporting cast, they're just asking to be swept. And that's exactly what happened to the Suns. It's not often that a series featuring stars like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker fails to live up to expectations in terms of competitiveness and entertainment value. But this one did. It wasn't just about how dominant the Timberwolves were. It also highlighted the Suns' poor roster construction this season. Anthony Edwards consistently outshone everyone on the court, and that was the only bright spot in an otherwise underwhelming series that left fans feeling indifferent. Lakers fall short in highly anticipated rematch. The Lakers were excited about a rematch with the Nuggets after losing to them in the Western Conference Finals last season, but their words didn't translate into much action, even though they managed to avoid a sweep. Despite leading at halftime in all 5 games, suggesting they could challenge the Nuggets, once the third quarter began in 4 of those games, it became clear that the Lakers were simply outmatched. The star power, particularly LeBron James's impressive performance throughout the series, elevated its ranking. However, it also underscored the Lakers' need for significant offseason improvements to stay competitive, especially considering LeBron's advancing age. Tough break for the Heat. Without Jimmy Butler, the Heat never really stood a chance against the top-seeded Celtics. Despite Bam Adebayo's efforts to carry the offensive load, this series exposed Miami's desperate need to strengthen their roster around him and Butler for the next season. As my colleague Sam Quinn pointed out earlier, it's hard not to wonder how things might have been different if the Heat had traded for Damian Lillard last summer. Lillard alone wouldn't have guaranteed victory against the Celtics, but his presence could have made a big difference during the regular season, potentially avoiding such a one-sided matchup. Instead, fans got a lackluster rematch of last season's Eastern Conference Finals, where Boston effortlessly demonstrated why they finished atop the East in 4 out of 5 games. So that's all for today's video. If you like it, click the like and bell buttons. We'll have another video for you soon. Take care until then.